Hi, I'm Jenny. After living in Queenstown for 3 years, I finally decided to do a solo trip to North Island. I started with one last coffee, said goodbye to my friends, and drove up the mountains to play in the snow. Then I took a bite of my favorite, Devil Burger. Not Ferg, I know, controversial. I packed everything in my little Mazda Demio and hit the road. I made it to Christchurch late at night, took some pictures, ate sushi, and went straight to sleep. Next morning, I headed to Kaikoura. The weather was perfect. It was warm and sunny. The beach was stunning. I was happy. I was in my element. I did something that I have never done before. For the rest of my trip, I decided to stay at Airbnbs and meet new people along the way. I then went for a walk and saw some wildlife. It was getting late, so I quickly treated myself to a lovely pancake for brunch and drove into Picton. Picton was a bittersweet moment because I was leaving South Island. I had some alone time in Maritime Museum, found out that a ship was built in Calcutta where I'm from. Boarding the ferry was a trip in itself. Parking especially was quite an adventure. I mostly stayed at the deck admiring the vastness of the ocean and how little it made me feel. When I arrived in Wellington, my first stop was Zealandia. I'd heard a lot about the bird life and it didn't disappoint. It started raining, so I left early. Next, I visited Taupo. I was greeted by Ollie, who loved being pet. The rain had flooded Hookah Falls. It was loud and it was powerful. I then soaked myself into thermal pools, which was relaxing and therapeutic. Next day, I continued driving to the beautiful Hamilton Gardens and checked into the Airbnb where I wished I could live forever. I booked the entire place to myself to celebrate these moments. Next day, I came to Auckland, took a detour and reached Commercial Bay. It had a trendy New York City vibe. I grabbed some sliders to celebrate the final leg. Eventually, I reached Whangarei, the peak of my journey. 1700 kilometers, 8 cities, and 6 days later, uncountable experiences. Here's the thing, I was scared. I was still on my restricted license. The roads were unfamiliar and the fear of the unknown gripped me. But I did it anyway, and now I'm stronger, braver, and ready for more. More solo road trips, more adventures.